Hello, good morning. Today we are going to discuss about recurrence relations. So, in general, a recurrence relation is a relation like an is equal to that's the nth term of a series. An is equal to a function of an minus one, an minus two, etc. A1, a naught. This kind of a relation, if an is expressed in terms of its previous terms, it's sometimes a function of n also. That kind of a relation is known as a recurrence relation. For example, uh, we know how we generate the famous Fibonacci series, which is nothing but 1, 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, etc. And we can represent the nth term of the Fibonacci series as the sum of n minus 1th term plus n minus 2th term. And with the initial condition that f0 is equal to 0 and f1 is equal to 1, then f2 is equal to f0 plus f1, which is 1. So here we can start from 0 itself. So 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, etc. So this is the famous Fibonacci series in a way that can be represented using this particular expression. And this is the recurrence relation which corresponds to the famous Fibonacci series. Now, so in recurrence relation, the nth term is expressed as or expressed in terms of its previous term or the previous terms. So an minus 1, an minus 2, etc. A1, A naught can be present in the expression, and in some cases the expression may contain the term n also. So here it is a recurrence relation which contains the or express the nth term as n into n minus 1, an minus 1. So this is expressed as a function of n and an minus 1. Now, if you closely observe at this particular recurrence relation, we can write something like an minus 1 is equal to n minus 1 into an minus 2. An minus 2 is equal to n minus 2 into an minus 3. If we proceed like this, a 2 is equal to 2 into a1 and a1 is equal to 1 into a0. And if we make an initial assumption that a0 is equal to 1, and if we resubstitute the values here, a2 is equal to a1 is equal to 1 into 1, that is 1, a2 is equal to 2, a3 is equal to 3 into 2, and f4 is equal to 3 into 2 into 1, and proceeding like this, we have an is equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into etc. up to 1. So that is nothing but n factorial. So here, instead of expressing an is equal to n into n minus 1, we can write an is equal to n factorial. That's an explicit representation of an. In the first case, an is expressed as a function of n and n minus 1, and here an is expressed explicitly as a function of n alone. And the second expression, an is equal to n factorial, is said to be a solution of the given recurrence relation. So this is known as a solution of the recurrence relation an is equal to n into an minus 1. In many cases, uh, this particular method will give the solution for a recurrence relation. So for example, let's have another simple example as an minus an minus 1 equal to some n. Then in order to solve this particular recurrence relation, let's start with, okay, here we have an initial condition, say a naught is equal to some particular value, a naught is equal to say 4. That's initial condition or initial value. And so we can write equations like a1 minus a naught is equal to 1, a2 minus a1 is equal to a2 minus a1 is equal to 2, a3 minus a2 is equal to 3, and so on. A n minus 1 minus a n minus 2 is equal to n minus 1. A n minus a n minus 1 is equal to n. And if we add all these equations, then an minus 1 here will cancelled with an minus 1 here, a2 and a2 get cancelled, a1 and a1 get cancelled, a3 and a3 will get cancelled, and the final stage what remains is an minus a naught is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus etc. Up to n. So from here, the sum of first n natural numbers, it is n into n minus 1 divided by 2, and this is an minus a naught. So an is equal to n into n minus 1 divided by 2, equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2 minus of minus, that is plus a naught. And we have the initial condition as a naught is equal to 4. So the value of an is equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2 plus the initial condition 4. So that's the solution of our recurrence relation, which gives an minus 1 is equal to a naught with a naught is equal to 4. So that's a method by which we can solve a recurrence relation. But this particular method is not a general one, so we have to go through some methods that are more general in nature, and we are concentrating on recurrence relations with some specific nature, and here we are concentrating on linear recurrence relation with the constant coefficients. Linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients, or in general, linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients have a form like an plus some constant a1 into an minus 1 plus a2 into an minus 2 plus a3 into an minus 3 plus etc. some an is equal to a function of n. So that's the most general form of linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients. And here a1, a2, etc., an are real constants, and small an minus 1, an minus 2, an minus 3, etc. are the terms of our series, and or nth term of our sequence, and fn is a function of n, and We use this representation to find the value of an, or if we rearrange it, then an is expressed as a function of an minus 1, an minus 2, n minus 3, etc. and n. And notice one more thing here: the coefficient of an minus 1, an minus 2, etc. are constants, and therefore it is a recurrence relation with constant coefficients, and the power of the terms an minus 1, an minus 2, etc. are 1, and that is why we call it as a linear recurrence relation. If the power of n minus 1 or n minus 2 are not equal to 1, then it is not a linear recurrence relation with constant coefficients. Anyhow, we are dealing with some methods by which we can solve the linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients, and we start with a particular variant of linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients in which this f of n is identically equal to 0. So such a linear recurrence relation is known as homogeneous. So for the time being, we are concentrating on homogeneous linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients, and after that we will discuss about non-homogeneous linear recurrence relation with constant coefficients. And so in order to solve the homogeneous linear recurrence relations with constant coefficients, we will illustrate the concept using some examples. So let us consider the recurrence relation an is equal to 5an minus 1 plus minus 6an minus 2, and the initial conditions being a naught is equal to 1 and a1 is equal to 4. So it's a linear recurrence relation because the coefficient of an minus 1, an minus 2, etc. are 1, and it contains only constant coefficients. So it is a linear recurrence relation with constant coefficients. And first step, we have to rewrite it into the standard form as an minus 5 into an minus 1 plus 6 into an minus 2 is equal to 0. So it's a homogeneous recurrence relation with constant coefficients. Now, the first step is write down the auxiliary equation. And in order to write down the auxiliary equation, the simplest method is look at the order of the recurrence relation. It contains terms up to an minus 2. So it is a second order linear recurrence relation with constant coefficient. And if it is a second order linear recurrence relation, then the simplest method is to replace n with n plus 2. So it becomes an plus 2 minus 5 times an plus 2 minus 1, that is n plus 1 plus 6 times an is equal to 0. From here we can write down the auxiliary equation as m square minus 5m plus 6 is equal to 0. So we can write down this auxiliary equation from the given recurrence relation itself, but the intermediate step will make things simple. Anyhow, first step, we have to solve this the auxiliary equation for different values of m, and here this second degree polynomial expression is factorizable, and it is m minus 3 into m minus 2 is equal to 0, which gives the root m1 is equal to 3 and m2 is equal to 2. So here we get two real distinct roots. If the roots are real and distinct, then the solution is of the form an is equal to some constant a into m1 raised n plus some constant b into m2 raised n. That will be the form of our solution, and that form take place when we have real distinct roots. So here in our particular case, it is a into m1 is 3 raised n plus b into 2 to the power n. So this is our solution, but the solution contains two arbitrary constants a and b, and to eliminate the arbitrary constant we use our initial condition that a0 is equal to 1 and a1 is equal to 4. Since a0 is equal to 1, if we substitute n is equal to 1 in this particular expression, when n is equal to 0, a0 is equal to 1 implies when n is equal to 0, 3 raised 0 is 1, b raised 2 raised to 0 is 1, so it is a plus b is equal to 1, and a1 is equal to 4. That means a1, we substitute n is equal to 1, so it is 3a plus 2b is equal to 4. Now if you multiply the first equation with 2, then 2a plus 2b is equal to 2. Now solving 1 minus 2 gives a is equal to 2. Then if you substitute a is equal to 2, then a plus b is equal to 1 gives b is equal to 1 minus a is equal to 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 1. So here a is equal to 2 and b is equal to minus 1, and by substituting that in our solution, an is equal to 2 into 3 raised n plus b is equal to minus 1, so it becomes minus 2 raised n. So this is our solution to the given recurrence relation. So that's a method which gives the solution of linear recurrence relation with constant coefficient. This particular method of write down the auxiliary equation and then find out the solution of auxiliary equation and write down the general form of the solution as an is equal to a into r1 raised n plus b into r2 raised n will work for all such equations with real and distinct roots, and we can extend the same method to a linear recurrence relation of higher order. So that this method can be extended to a third order recurrence relation or fourth order recurrence relation. Now let's consider another recurrence relation in which an is equal to 10 times an minus 1 minus 25 times an minus 2. And here we have an initial condition as a0 is equal to 3 and a1 is equal to 70. In first step, we rewrite it as an minus 10 an minus 1 minus, so minus is 25, an minus 2 is equal to 0 into the standard form. Then write down the auxiliary equation as m square minus 10m plus 25 is equal to 0, and this particular quadratic equation can be written as m minus 5 the whole square is equal to 0. M square minus 2 into 5 into m plus 5 square is equal to 0. So this gives the roots are m1 is equal to 5 and m2 is equal to 5. So the root 5 is repeated 2 times, and in this case the solution takes a different form. N is equal to some constant a into 5 raised n plus some b into n into 5 raised n. So that will give the general form of our solution. And by substituting n is equal to 0 or using the initial condition. When n is equal to 0, we have the initial condition as a into 5 raised to 0, that is 1, plus b into 0 into 5 raised to 0, that is equal to, when n is equal to 0, the value is equal to 3. That means uh, a equal to 3, and when n is equal to 1, what we have um is 5a plus b equal to 17, and therefore b is equal to 17 minus 5 into 3, that is 2. So a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 2. Is one second. If we substitute n is equal to 1, what we have is, okay, this is not 5b, this is 5b. Here we have n is equal to 1, so it is b into 5 raised to 1, so it is 5b. So it is 5b is equal to 17, or it is 2, so b is equal to 2 by 5. So a is equal to 3 and b is equal to 2 by 5, and therefore the solution is of the form an is equal to 3 into 5 raised dn plus 2 by 5 into n into 5 raised n. Now let's consider another problem in which the value of an is given by 2an minus 1 minus 2an minus 2, where a0 is equal to 1 and a1 is equal to 3. So the recurrence relation in linear form, it is an minus 2 into n minus 1 minus plus 2 into an minus 2 is equal to 0. So the corresponding auxiliary equation takes the form m square minus 2m plus 2m plus 2 is equal to 0, and by solving for m is equal to 2 plus or minus root of b square, that is 4 minus 2 into a into c, that is 2, b square minus 4ac minus b plus or minus root of b square, that is 4 b square minus 4 into a into c divided by 2a, so there is 2, that's equal to 2 plus or minus root of 4 minus 8 divided by 2, that is 2 plus or minus root of 4 minus 8 is minus 4, minus 4 root of minus 4 divided by 2, that gives m is equal to 2 plus or minus 2i divided by 2, that is 1 plus or minus I. So the roots of auxiliary equation are m1 is equal to 1 plus I and m2 is equal to 1 minus I. So they are conjugate pair of each other, and they are complex roots, not real roots. They are complex roots. And since they are complex roots, the solution is of the form an is equal to r raised n into a cos n theta plus b sin n theta, where the root is of the form m is equal to r e raised I theta, or it is plus or minus I theta. So one root is r e raised I theta and other root is r e raised minus I theta. Then the general form of our solution is in this form, or in other words, if we can represent the first root as r e raised I theta and second root as um, r e raised minus I theta, then the solution is of the form a r e raised I theta plus b into r e raised minus I theta. Then we can expand this r e raised I theta as cos theta plus I sin theta. Okay, this one raised dn and this one again raised dn. Then we can expand r e raised I theta raised dn as r raised dn e raised in theta. So it takes a is equal to r raised dn e raised in theta plus r raised dn e raised minus in theta. We can expand this e raised in theta as cos theta plus I sin n theta, and e raised minus in theta as cos n theta minus I sin n theta. And on simplification, this will take this particular form. And if you observe this particular case, 1 plus I can be represented as in polar form. Modulus of 1 plus I is root 2, that is square root of 1 square plus 1 square, into e raised I into theta. The angle here is pi by 4. And 1 minus I obviously is equal to root 2 into e raised minus I into pi by 4. So substituting these two values in this expression, we have root 2 all raised dn into a cos n pi by 4 plus b sin n pi by 4. So if you rewrite rewrite in polar form, the final solution for an is independent of any complex values. But if you use the root as it is in the complex form itself, in Cartesian form, then the solution will be of the form an is equal to 1 plus I raised dn, a into 1 plus I raised dn plus b into 1 minus I the all raised dn. So this solution is also valid, but the problem is the solution contains complex numbers, and our problem is, or our series or our sequence is not a complex sequence. It contains only real values. So it is better to obtain a form which contains only the real entries, and that is why we use this particular form. Anyhow, using the initial conditions, a naught is equal to 1, which means by substituting n is equal to 0 in this expression, root 2 raised to 0 is 1, a into cos 0 for 0 is 1, plus b into sin 0, so that is 0, is equal to 1 means a is equal to 1, and by substituting a1 is equal to 1 or n is equal to 1, we have root 2 into a into cos pi by 4 plus b into sin pi by 4. That's equal to root 2 into a into cos pi by 4 is 1 by root 2 plus b into sin pi by 4 is again 1 by root 2. So if you take this 1 by root 2 as a common factor, we can cancel this 1 by root 2 each other, and the value of a1 is equal to 3, and therefore what we have is a plus b is equal to 3. So b is equal to 3 minus a is equal to 1, so it is 2. So a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 2, and therefore the solution is of the form an is equal to root of 2 the all raised dn into a is equal to 1. So cos n pi by 4 plus b is equal to 2. So 2 sine n pi divided by 4. So that's our solution to the recurrence formula. Now, before moving further, let us examine the case of our Fibonacci series, which is Fn is equal to Fn minus 1 plus Fn minus 2, together with the initial conditions F0 is equal to 0 and F1 is equal to 1. So if we rewrite it into the standard form, then it is F1 minus Fn minus 1 minus Fn minus 2 is equal to 0. That means the auxiliary equation become m square minus m minus 1 is equal to 0. And this will give the root m is equal to minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4 into a into c divided by 2 is equal to 1 plus or minus root of 4 into minus 1, that is minus 4 into minus 1 plus 4, so it is 5 divided by 2. So the two different roots are m1 is equal to 1 plus root 5 divided by 2, and m2 is equal to 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. Now, if we substitute that in the general form of our solution, the solution for our Fibonacci series f1 is equal to fn is equal to 1 plus root 5 divided by 2 the all raised dn into a plus b into 1 minus root of 5 divided by 2 the all raised dn. And now if we substitute n is equal to 0, we have n0, that is 1 equal to a plus b. N0 is 0. 0 is equal to a plus b. And when we substitute n is equal to 1, we have 1 is equal to a into 1 plus root 5 divided by 2 plus b into 1 minus root 5 divided by 2. By solving these two equations simultaneously, that is a plus b is equal to 0, and if you simplify this, 2 is equal to a into 1 plus root 5 plus b into 1 minus root of 5, and a is equal to minus b. So if you substitute a is equal to minus b or b is equal to minus of a, this equation becomes a into 1 plus root 5, b can be replaced with minus a into 1 minus root of 5, and that means a plus a root 5 minus a minus of minus plus root 5 into a, and that's equal to this a and a get cancelled, and what remains is 2a into root 5, which means a is equal to, if you cancel this 2 and 2, then a is equal to 1 by root of 5, and naturally b is equal to minus 1 by root of 5. So the solution is of the form Fn is equal to A, that is 1 by root 5 into 1 plus root 5 divided by 1 divided by 2 the all raised dn plus 1 by root 5 into, here it is minus 1 by root 5 into 1 minus root 5 divided by 2 the all raised dn. So that will be the solution of our Fibonacci series, which is a linear recurrence relationship of homogeneous type, and it is a second order relation, and it is a relation with constant coefficients. Now, what happens if the relationship is not a homogeneous relation? So if you have a general non-homogeneous recurrence relation, then if you consider the second order relation, which is of the form an minus an plus some constant c1 into an minus 1 plus c2 is equal to c2 into n minus 2 is equal to a function of n. Then such a non-homogeneous recurrence relation possesses a solution of the form an, which has two parts. One is the homogeneous part, which is usually denoted by an h, plus a particular part, which is an p. So this is our solution, in which the first one is called the homogeneous part and second one is the particular solution. To find the homogeneous solution, what we are going to do is consider the homogeneous equation corresponding to the given recurrence relation by just changing Fn into 0 or equating it into 0. We get a second order linear homogeneous equation, and the solution of that homogeneous equation is ANH. Then we find a particular solution of the non-homogeneous equation, that is ANP, and the sum of these two terms will give the general solution of our non-homogeneous recurrence relation. And the calculation of homogeneous solution is what we discussed earlier, and the calculation of particular solution depends on the nature of our f of n. The process is illustrated using a simple example. Let's consider simple example of recurrence relation where this consider this one, an plus 2 minus 4 into an plus 1 plus 3 into an is equal to minus 200. Now it is a non-homogeneous recurrence relation because the right hand side is 200, which is a function of n. Actually it is minus 200 into n raised to 0. So it is a function of n. Then the first step is to calculate the non-homogeneous part of the solution. To find an homogeneous, we write down the auxiliary equation as m square minus 4m plus 3 is equal to 0, which gives m plus m minus 3 into m minus 1 is equal to 0. So the roots are m1 is equal to 3 and m2 is equal to 1. So the solution or the homogeneous part of the solution is some constant a into m1 raised dn plus b into m2 raised dn. So that is our homogeneous part of the solution. And to find the particular solution for A and P, we use a trial solution, and the trial solution depends on the nature of f of n. So there is a method corresponding to different values of f of n. We use different types of trial solution. So if it is a constant, then the trial solution is of the form and the arbitrary constant a. So here our trial solution is a, an arbitrary constant. Here uh, our f of n is equal to a constant 200 or minus 200. So we use the trial solution as an arbitrary constant. And if the right hand side is something like n, then our trial solution is a1n plus a0, a first degree polynomial in n. If it is something n square, or in general a polynomial expression in second degree polynomial expression in n square, or the trial solution is a2n square plus a1n plus a0. Or in general, if we have an expression like n raised to t, directly n raised to t, or a polynomial of order t, then our arbitrary solution is a general form of nth degree polynomial plus etc. up to n0. And if it is of the form r raised to n, where r is a real number, then our arbitrary solution is the form a into r raised to n, where a is a arbitrary constant. But this is valid only when r is not a root of our auxiliary equation. If r is a root of our auxiliary equation, then the form is a into n into r raised to n. And if it is a repeated root of our auxiliary equation, that is, if r is a root which repeats 2 times, then it takes the form a into n square into r raised to n. If it is a double root, then we use this particular form. So that's the nature in which we take the trial solution. Or if f of n is a function of theta, sine theta or sine n theta and cos n theta, where theta is a constant, then the trial solution is a combination of sine n theta and cos n theta. So that's our trial solution. Now there are a few more cases which is possible here, and one is if we have something like n raised to t into r to the power n. That is the product of two of the above mentioned functions. Then it is r raised to n into a polynomial of order t plus etc. up to n. Then if we have something like r raised to n into sine n theta or r raised to n into cos n theta, then the trial solution is of the form a into r raised to n into sine n theta plus b into r raised to n into cos n theta. So these are some standard forms using which we can find the particular solution. So pick a form which is appropriate to our f of n, and here f of n is a constant, so we choose an arbitrary constant a. So the equation is a n plus 2 minus 4 into a n plus 1 plus 3 into a n is equal to 2 minus 200, and b an is equal to an arbitrary constant. Now substituting the value of an in the given reconciliation, if an is equal to a, then an plus 1 is also equal to a, and an plus 2 is again equal to a, since it is merely constant. Then the equation gives a minus 4a plus 3a is equal to minus 200, and that gives a. Okay, sorry, one little change needed here. So here it is minus 200, which is, we just consider it not as a polynomial. We just consider it as minus 200 into a constant 1 raised dn. So it is something like a constant into r to the power n, where r is a real number and here r is equal to 1, and in that case the arbitrary constant is a into r to the power n, and therefore the trial solution is an is equal to a constant a into uh, since, okay, from here 1 is a solution of the auxiliary equation, and therefore it is n into r raised dn or 1 raised dn. So a into n can be taken as a trial solution, and by substituting this in our equation, an is equal to capital A, a constant, into n. So n plus 2 is capital A into n plus 2 minus 4 times an is capital A into n plus 1 plus 3 times a into n is equal to minus 200, and we solve this equation for the value of a. So it is uh, na plus 2a minus 4a minus minus 4 into a into minus 4an, then minus 4a plus 3an. So here plus 3an minus 4 3an, this will get cancelled, and what remains is 2a minus 4a is equal to minus of 200, and from here 2a is equal to minus 200, or a is equal to 100. So the particular solution is 100n. So by substituting here, an particular is equal to 100n. So the solution is an is equal to an homogeneous, which we already calculated as c1 into 3 to the power n plus c2 into 1 to the power n plus the particular solution as 100n. So this is our general solution. Now the next thing, we have to eliminate the arbitrary constants. If we have some initial conditions, we can eliminate the arbitrary constants, but here in this particular problem we don't have any initial conditions, and therefore it's impossible to eliminate the arbitrary constants, and therefore this is our final solution, which is a general solution as it contains arbitrary constants. So that is the method by which we solve a non-homogeneous reconciliation in which we have a particular value for f of n. So let's consider one more problem in which the reconciliation is an plus 2 plus 3 times an plus 1 plus 2 times an is equal to 3 to the power n, with a0 is equal to 0 and a1 is equal to 1. So first step, we write down the auxiliary equation to find the homogeneous part of the solution. So the auxiliary equation is m square plus 3m plus 2 is equal to 0, and by solving this particular auxiliary equation, m plus 1 into m plus 2 is equal to 0, that is m is equal to minus 1 and m is equal to minus 2 are the solution. So the homogeneous part of the solution is a constant, say c1 into minus 1 raised to n plus c2 into minus 2 raised to n. So that is our homogeneous part of the solution. To find out the particular solution, we take the trial solution is of the form, here f of n is equal to 3 to the power n. F of n is of the form 3 to the power n, and therefore the trial solution is of the form a n p is equal to some constant into 3 to the power n. Now substituting into the reconciliation an plus 2, that is we substitute n is equal to n plus 2 here, so it is the arbitrary constant a into 3 raised to n plus 2 plus 3 times an plus 1, that is a into 3 to the power n plus 1 plus 2 into an, that is 3 to the power n, is equal to 3 to the power n. So we can cancel off this 3 to the power n from both sides, and what remains is 3 square a plus 3a into 3, that is 9a, plus 2 is equal to 1. So 18a plus 2 is equal to 1, or 18a is equal to 18a equal to 1 minus 2, that is minus 1. So this by solving this, okay, here it is here also this we have a here, so this 2a is equal to 1, and therefore small change here, it become 9 plus 9 plus 2, that is 20a. 20a is equal to 1, which means a is equal to 1 by 20, positive 1 by 20. So by substituting in the solution, the solution an is equal to the particular solution, that is c1 into minus 1 raised to n plus c2 into minus I think it is minus 2. The roots are minus 1 and minus 2. So okay, so it is minus 1 raised to n into c2 into minus 2 to the power n plus the particular solution 1 by 20 into 3 to the power n. Here a is equal to 1 by 20. Substituting here, the particular solution is 1 by 20 into 3 raised to n. So this is our uh, general solution, and we can find out the values of C1 and C2 by using the initial conditions as initial condition a naught is equal to a0 is equal to 0, which means by substituting n is equal to 0 here, c1 plus c2 plus 1 by 20 is equal to uh, 0, or in other words c1 plus c2 is equal to minus 1 by 20. Then a1 is equal to 1. That means when we substitute n is equal to 1, we have minus c1 minus 2c2 plus 3 by 20 is equal to 1. So by solving these two linear equations simultaneously, we can have the value of c1 and c2. So for that, first we rewrite the first equation as c1 plus c2 is equal to minus 1 by 20, and the second equation as minus c1 minus 2c2 is equal to 1 minus 3 by 20, that is 1 minus 3 by 20 is equal to 20 minus 3 by 20, that is 17 divided by 20. Then adding these two equations, we can have minus c2 is equal to out of 20 18 by 20. Okay, c1 and c1 get cancelled. Here it is minus c2. Here what we have is minus plus, so it is not 18, 16 by 20. Difference is minus. Okay, so 16 by 20. So it's equal to 8 by 10 for 4 by 5. So C2 is equal to minus 4 by 5. Minus C2 is equal to 4 by 5. So C2 is equal to minus 4 by 5. When C2 is equal to minus 4 by 5, C1 is equal to, from here, minus 1 by 20 minus C2 is equal to minus 1 by 20 minus of minus plus 4 by 5 is equal to minus 1 by 20. Then we can take 20 as the LCM, so it is plus 16, which is 15 by 20 is equal to 3 by 4. So the solution is C1 is equal to 3 by 4 and C2 is equal to minus 4 by 5. Therefore, the solution of the reconciliation A1 is equal to C1 times, that is 3 by 4 times minus 1 raised to n plus C2, that is minus 4 by 5 times. So we can write it as minus 4 by 5 times minus 2 raised to n plus the particular part of the solution 1 by 20 into 3 to the power n. So that will be our solution to the recurrence relation. So this is our solution to the recurrence relation. So these are the methods by which we can solve a linear recurrence relation with constant coefficients in which f of n is not equal to 0 and f of n has a particular value. And there are some special cases in which the direct method is not applicable or it is confusing, and that kind of problems we will go through some that kind of problems in our next session. And for the time being, thank you. and I recommend you to go through a number of problems from the textbooks so that you are familiar with the method of characteristic equation to find the homogeneous solution, and the methods which we discussed to calculate the particular solution of the uh, linear recurrence relation, linear recurrence relations. And there is a method based on the generative functions, which we also will be discussed in our next session. Till then, thank you. Bye.